I am not in danger, Skylar. I am the danger. A guy opens his door and gets shot, and you think that of me? No. I am the one who knocks.
The legend Sedat Peker, the Turkish nationalist, a friend of the Alevis, guardian of the Turkish homeland, is slowly attacking the Erdogan regime. He says he will take it slowly. Hello everyone from a new video. Sedat Peker. He's an ex-Mafia boss. He's a former deep state member. He is a Turkish nationalist. He is the hope of young people under 40. He is a leader in exile that millions of people in Turkey are waiting for. He is an ex-regime supporter. He is a strategist. And finally, he is a family man. If you are watching this video from Russia, Middle East or Africa, you might not be too surprised by what you will watch now. However, if you are watching from a developed Western country, this video may surprise you. Although, if we are not surprised that a man like Trump is President of the United States, we may not be surprised either. So why would you be surprised? He is an extreme Turkish nationalist. But now, he is the hope of general Turkish community that is not close to Arabs. Dreams are Paris, but reality is Diyarbakir. Now, he is in United Arab Emirates, an Arab country. The Arabs who is very loved by Turkish nationalists and Kemalists.
FETÖ ile ilgili ne yapacaksınız sorusuna ise devlet sağdan çekildiğinde biz gireceğiz dedi.
Biz bazen şey diyorlar, ne zaman yapacaksın? Şimdi devletimiz sahnede, devletimiz ne yapacağını yapıyor.
I extorted people for profit. I confiscated people property. But that does not have a meaning for some in Turkey. Despite motto is, bir, you mood tour. Yaşamak means, living is a hope. Peker's own words to AKP regime. If you had not set me up, everything would have been as it is yesterday. He says that, I wouldn't hurt you. I'm doing these for revenge. His war is not for human rights, justice or religion, he admits.
Daha önce de söyledim, onlar bu milleti tanımıyorlar. Bu milleti tanıdıkları zaman her şey onlar için çok geçmiş olacak.
He was saying in AKP public regime meetings that, I will bathe in your blood. Now he says it was wrong, but it was my duty then.
Kıymetli kardeşlerim, bu hikayelerin hepsi böyledir.
My aim was to scare the public. Because, the people had to be afraid for the continuation of the current regime. But those who are proud to be Republican, who believe sovereignty belongs to the people, do not mind this at all. Peker says, I am the leader of organized crime. One of the most popular television channel choose him as the businessman of the year.
Sedat Peker.
Just like Reza Zarrab, who stole billions of dollars, Reza Zarrab admits too, but the public doesn't really care. He now breeds horses in America. All kind of horses. You understand what I mean. Comic, but it is true. Currently, Turkey is experiencing the worst economic period in its history. But the public agenda is determined by Sedat Peker rather than the opposition parties. Almost all of the opposition is waiting for Sedat Peker to attack Erdogan by some secret leaks. They hope to release some tapes from him. He gives such hope to the opposition. He shares information about the Syrian war, about arms smuggling. But then, he says, it's not the state's fault. As if, those who rule the state come from outer space and rule. It is as if those who run the state are transferred from another country, not the elected people of this country. But no one in Turkey questions this either. Now, Sedat Peker has the status of asylum seeker in an Arab state in the Middle East, even if he does not desire it. Although there is a warrant against him, the Arab Emirates protect him as a mafia leader. Erdogan, a very strong leader, whom the West is trying to get out of power as soon as possible, cannot get him out of the hands of the Arabs. And it seems that Peker is going on to make these moves against Erdogan. Unfortunately, the majority of Turkish people ignore this. Turkish people are very interesting. Earlier, Erdogan said that the country where Sedat Peker took refuge is the financier of the so-called coup d'état of July 15. Almost all Turkish people believed it. Except whole other world. The opposition believed it too. Even the Kemalists in the opposition, because the Arabs cannot be trusted anyway for Kemalists. But now, they are pleased about Dubai's Peker support. Now the same Arabs are meeting with Sedat Peker and Erdogan for money or interests. Supporters of the Islamist regime should be a little surprised by Erdogan's moves with Arab Emirates. But that doesn't happen. Sedat Peker's strategy. The strategy used by Sedat Peker is a kind of military war strategy. He knows his enemy very well. As Sun Tzu said, he knows Sun Tzu well, or someone who knows Sun Tzu well supports Sedat Peker. Peker knows the battlefield very well, that is, the structure of Turkish society, like Erdogan. And he uses it at every opportunity. As Erdogan did. He is aware of the importance of using religion by the current government. So, he gives very sensitive messages about religion too. In other words, Peker is shooting at Erdogan, with the same gun that he shots, religion, nationalism and media power. He does not go into the injustices in Turkey much. Because if he mentions about these issues, that will cause to a show of the persecution of the Gulen movement or HD party. Instead, he gives more weight to the issues of corruption, collapse of property, bribery and drugs. Peker is paying attention to the delicate balances like Russia, Israel, America and England. Because he is currently a refugee. And he sends some message those imperial powers about drugs. He gives information on drug sales and transfer issues. And all of his leaks appears to be real. Because he comes from same world. He claims that he has no connection with drugs trade. But he has many connections with drug lords. Peker gives clues about the so-called coup attempt of the Erdogan regime, but he does not continue. He pretends to save it for the final battle. Maybe he's bluffing. He brings up the issues of arms smuggling in Syria and that leak presents Peker as an important figure to imperial actors. He is sending a message to those who want to blackmail Erdogan. In summary, when we analyze Peker's strategy that he has followed so far, we can say that Sedat Peker used the abuse of religion and nationalism that kept Erdogan alive. Peker analyzed it very well. And also, he is aware of the influence of the media on the public, and until now, he is very successful on perception management issues. Despite the huge media monopoly he faced in that Erdogan war. Sedat Peker, instead of attacking Erdogan directly, he chooses to attack the most sensitive side of Erdogan, money and dirty business. Peker advances by attacking Erdogan's secret circles, his media power, and the main actors that responsible for his dirty work. He gradually weakens his enemy. And he plans to give the killing blow when the enemy is at their weakest.
Tutmaz oğlum. Ben rüyamda gördüm diyorum. Ben çok hızlı yaşayacağım. Her döneceğimi biliyorum. Sizi bayıltacağım. En azından benim ömrüm sizden çok olacak. Onu biliyorum.
Now we are in the middle of this war. Until now, we are watching Peker's well strategy. What about other possible scenarios? Those who want Erdogan's regime to be continued, also have some plans, against Sedat Peker. We have not seen such counterattacks until now. But we are not sure for future. And, there is one more possibility in this war. A peace. Yes, a peace between Erdogan regime and Peker side. In our opinion, it is a weak possibility, but these two warriors can make peace, in the face of their faults being covered up. But, we think it's too late from now on. As a result, as we said at the beginning, If someone told you that in Turkey, a country of 85 million people, which has been governed by Western laws for almost 100 years, a mafia leader would wage a war against Erdogan regime, you would not believe it. But it is real now. And bad for democracy. There is another weird issue about that war. Some people who are mostly Erdogan's enemy or illiterate citizens, believe that Sedat Peker waged that for revenge. It is naive to believe that he waged this war alone, or without the support of some deep state in Turkey, or it is naive to believe that his success depends on Peker's supporters, who are homeland fighters. Unfortunately, there are millions of people who buy this idea in Turkey. So why is it a naive to believe this? Peker-Erdogan war is happening in the Middle East and some in Europe. In front of Israel, America, England, European Union and Russia. These imperial powers will not leave anyone who has the capacity to define Turkey's agenda. If Peker's war was a negative effect on Western strategy, he would have been sent to Erdogan by a plane like PKK leader. Even an actor, like PKK leader, was handed over, for the sake of good relations with Turkey. Just a reminding for younger friends. Now, let's go to, so what part? For the citizens of undeveloped countries who watch this video, may not be surprised. Because, puppets are quite common in such countries. And Western colonial rulers, always, love such puppet rulers. Because, it is easy to manage. Even it is a very populated country. But when it comes to a questioning society, it is so difficult to manage, even if it is a small country. For colonial powers, interest is essential. Sedat Peker-Erdogan war is an opportunity for them right now. Time and imperial powers will show us what this war will end up with. Will Sedat Peker be victorious and turn into a legend, or will he be disappeared? We'll see. But as I said before, no one could have foreseen that Erdogan and his regime would face such a threat until a few years ago. Sedat Peker misled everyone. He deserves respect for his intelligence and strategy. Besides, he's a limited person like us. He loves his family. And he deserves respect for that too. He may also have started this war against the injustice done to him. But there are millions of family that deserve respect in Turkey now. If he starts a war for his family, what should do these innocent families? Or another question. If Sedat Peker was not a target by Erdogan regime, would he wage a war too against Erdogan regime? Or he would be a person who is responsible for the horror on society to save Erdogan regime.
Ancak bir gün şartlar oluşursa ve şartlar inşallah oluşur, o zaman devletimizden milletimize geçecek. Ben de bu yüce milletin bir ferdi olarak ben ve arkadaşlarım ne yaptığımızı tüm dünya görecek. Çocuklara masallarda anlatacaklar bunları. Aman ha böyle bir şey olmuştu diye örnekler verecek.
Time will show us that, has Sedat Peker changed? Or play a role for some power enables? It is early to say that he has regrets for his past. We haven't seen any signs of that yet. We could not hear from him what the deep state did to the Kurds, the persecution of the Gulenists and the HD party supporters, and the secrets of July 15th, from him. I hope that Peker reveals such secrets soon. And that persecution of innocent humans stop. If Peker family is innocent, millions of people's family are innocent too. They deserve to be free much more than Sedat Peker. Thanks for watching. Goodbye. And a recommendation to Sedat Peker. Enemy's enemy is my friend. Think that again.